In this video, I'm sharing my 10 top bath toys for toddlers. Hi guys, I'm Cara and today I'm going to be sharing with you some of our absolute favourite bath toys. My little boy Ben is 2.5 years old and these are all things that he has loved for a really long time and I am very sure will continue to play with in the months and years to come too. Baths are especially awesome at the moment during lockdown when we've got so much time at home because they entertain babies and toddlers for such a long period of time. All the toys I'm going to talk about today I will try and link below in the description box. However, you will see that lots of them are also completely free or things that you will already have at home. So let's get started with my top 10 bath toy recommendations. My first recommendation today is a net. Now this one actually came in a pack with some little fish. We don't love these because these tend to sink to the bottom. We prefer to use pom-poms. Now I have talked about some of the amazing felt pom-poms that we have in some previous videos. They can be used for so many different activities and when we use them in the bath, we just then pop them on the radiator to dry afterwards. We've also done fishing for blocks, fishing for some of Ben's animals, which I'll talk about later in this video too. And if you don't want to buy a net, I would totally suggest doing the exact same thing with a sieve. Actually, in some respects, this is easier because the bottom part doesn't move. So for a younger toddler, a sieve is awesome.
This one's just the tickler with small accessories.
My second recommendation is something that you will probably have around the house, and that is a reusable straw. Now, if you have a bubble bath, this is so much fun for blowing into the water, and you end up with a really big bubble mountain. For babies and young toddlers, it's so much fun when you blow it and they just get to burst all the bubbles. And when your toddler's slightly older, they'll be able to do it by themselves too. Ben is at this stage now, so he really loves to blow them by himself. The next toy is probably the most requested and most played with toy in our bathtub, and that is an empty washing up liquid bottle. All we do is put some soap in the bottom, a little bit of water, and then shake it up. Ben then opens the top, squeezes the bottle, and bubbles shoot out of the top. Normally they shoot pretty high and pretty far, which is hilarious when you're 2 years old. Ben now thinks that this is just like a volcano and finds it exceptionally entertaining. But be warned, this is something that we do again and again and again and again.
And then open it and then...
My next recommendation is something that I talk about time and time again on this channel, and that is just because they are such great quality, and that is a set of Schleich animals. So last year we did buy Ben these ones, which are kind of a selection of water themed animals, things like an orca, a beluga whale, a dolphin, a seal, and he has played with these in the bath. However, they don't need to be water-themed Schleich animals. Ben also loves to take his dogs to the bath and pretend that they're paddling in the river when they're out for a walk. He loves to take his African animals to the watering hole in the bath. They are fantastic in water because they don't have any little holes to let water in, so drying them is really easy. You just put them on a towel. Also, the paint stays on really well even when they're in hot water and soap because they are just such great quality. These are a little bit on the pricey side. They are an investment buy. However, these are something that Ben plays with on a daily basis in the bath or not. We also have some that have been passed down from Thomas's mum, so they stand the test of time. And there are a few other brands that are also really good. We also have some by Papo, which are a similar quality and are good if you can't get the animals or the type of animal that you're looking for.
Not going to come and eat you.
Oh, that's good. I'm glad. My next toy is another completely free one, and that is to keep an old empty soap dispenser. So Ben just loves it when we fill it with some water and he can press down at the top of the pump. He loves just the action itself. He also loves to pretend to clean his Schleich animals with it. It seems so simple, but it can amuse a toddler for a really long time. Then I would recommend trying to get your hands on some of these little children's medicine syringes. So if you're in the UK, you get them free with things like Calpol or Nurofen. And they provide so much fun and are great for fine motor skills. So Ben will just like hold the front of it underwater or the whole thing underwater, pull it up and then he can fire it at whatever he wants in the bathroom. He loves to fire them at our hands as targets, and it just involves quite a bit of patience to learn how to do it, so it's really great for their concentration too. And then similarly, these little pipettes are also great. We got them in like a 6-pack on Amazon, and they're similarly great for fine motor skills, for concentration when they're learning how to transport the water using them. The next toy is an absolute classic, and that is some kind of cup. So quite often we will use our kitchen measuring cups because Ben loves that they have a handle and that they're so easy to transport water and pour that he finds them exceptionally fascinating. But similarly, just stacking cups, which I feel are such a classic toy that everyone has somewhere. These are great because they have little holes in the bottom, so Ben loves to actually make it rain into the next cup, and again you can transport them. They're also great when you need to wash their hair, and it's something fun to wash their hair with. And following on from that, there are so many things around the kitchen that make amazing bath toys. Things like ladles and big spoons are a huge hit with us. And the best one though for Ben is a funnel. So he loves to just put this into his empty soap bottle and fill it up with water and then pour it out. He repeats this so many times. He finds it so fascinating, especially when the bottle is full and the water no longer goes down the funnel. So easy and so effective. And another classic bath toy, which is popular for good reason, is some kind of boat. Now we just have a very plain normal boat that Ben loves to put dogs in and sail them across the bath, but equally we have a little bit more of an advanced one. This is a submarine. It's by Hip Hop and it was given to us as a gift. It is very cool because it actually swims under the water by itself. You just pull the little string, it makes a horrible noise, especially out of the water, but when it's under the water it is totally fine. And obviously the little cute monkey is a hit with toddlers too. My 10th and final recommendation for you today is actually something which I don't have to show you because we managed to misplace it in our recent house move. I will insert a photo here. They are a set of water wheels or clogs. Now these are so fascinating. You can pour water on them to make them move. They have a little sucker on the back so you can move them around to make different combinations. Ben just loves to turn them using water, and they really hold toddler or baby interest. Now I know that was already 10 toys, however there are 2 other things I think like the runners up that I quickly wanted to give a shout out to. Firstly, a rubber duck. I feel like no bath is complete without this absolute classic. We were gifted this little German one for Ben, which he thinks is so cute, although he always thinks that this little feather in the hat is a fish. And we also have some bath crayons. Now these were £1 from Poundland. They are super fun, especially if you have a toddler who's really into drawing and doodling. They're really easy to wash off. You can draw on the tiles, you can draw on the bath itself. And so I hope that has given a little bit of inspiration. I make lots of toy recommendation videos, so I will link my playlist to that at the end of today's video. And if it's something that you're interested in, please have a think about hitting the subscribe button if you haven't already. I would also love to know what your favourite bath toys or your little one's favourite bath toys are, so I would love for you to share for me in the comments below so that we can share it with other parents as well. Thank you so much for watching today, and I hope you'll join me again in another video. Bye bye!